Boo! Some of you were asking where the sausage is. Here is the sausage. Somebody said, have you still got her? I was like, oh my goodness, if you've ever had a dash hound, you'll know you can never not have a dash hound. And I mean that actual dash hound, because they've got a homing device, even though when they go out and they run away, they come back. My goodness, do they come back. And this sausage is so demanding that she is... Who's that? That's Badger knocking at the door. Anyway, so yes, here is the sausage. Hello from her. So it's a bit of a roundup this morning because it's becoming more and more difficult to... I mean, it's actually good in a way. It's becoming more and more difficult to find one thing that really pulls my chain because there's so many. I mean, I'm like a bell ringer now with so many ropes going and ringing these massive bells of, oh my God, please stop. So we know unemployment has hit an all-time high, not an all-time high, but record high since the pandemic. So on social media, lots of people are going, there's been peaks in every time the Conservative government were in. And then there's people going, yeah, but that's because they were fixing out the Labour mess from before. And I'm like, wow. And so we continue. So we keep talking about it was their fault. You fixed that. You had to fix that. We don't look at the fact that we've got a peak in unemployment. We've got a lot of people that had jobs that don't have jobs. We are hurtling towards the Christmas season, which shouldn't be the finish line for everything. There is more to life than just Christmas. But it's what, in this country, certainly, we seem to sort of dominate our thoughts with. And it tends to be, the summer holidays and Christmas are the goals. So there will be a lot of miserable people at the minute who are unemployed, facing unemployment, don't know how to pay the mortgage, will possibly have to sell the house, but get screwed on the house with all the taxes. I mean, it's just every which way and how you look, you can't win. And then when we look, there's a record number of people on unemployment benefits that have never worked. It's hit 4 million. So let's just let that settle for a bit. We've got a record number of people. Let me just make sure I've got that right, because as soon as I've said it, it sounds wrong. But it's one of those that sounds wrong because it is right. Yeah, that is right. Number of benefit claimants who never have to work hit 4 million for the first time. Where are we going wrong? Then we've got Ed Miliband, who's going on about climate change and how net zero and how we're all not doing our bit and we must have solar panels left, right and centre and we may not have a gas boiler and you can forget having a tumble dryer, they're going to be outlawed, and you absolutely may not have a log burner, but he can fly twice to COP20 whatever. And you see, this one really irritated me. So he's staying in a 5-star hotel. He was pictured in a luxury rooftop restaurant. You can't really ever go at that. But he's been to Brazil twice for the climate contract. And he's been filmed with or pictured with ex-rebellion members who campaigned against air travel. And he went twice on his big aeroplane to Brazil. Now, I'm not saying you can't travel. I'm not saying you shouldn't travel. That's Ed Miliband. He's saying you can't, not him. But he's saying you shouldn't. You need to think about it twice. You need to do this. You need to do that. But we all worked with Zoom in the pandemic, didn't we? We all worked with Teams. We all worked with FaceTime. But it turns out we can't do that if we're an MP and there's something going on in Brazil. I mean, Keir Starmer's air miles, he will never need to work again. He can just spend his entire life flying around wherever he wants to go to in the world on his free air miles that he's racked up in the first 2 years or 18 months of being PM. He's never in the country, which is just as well because it looks like Wes Streeting is gunning for his position, which won't happen. It can't happen. If it does happen, well, I suppose there'll be a snap election really quickly. I mean, I don't mind Wes, because whilst I don't agree with any of his politics, I actually don't mind Wes as a human. He's one of the more sort of palatable ones. Can't believe we're getting to the point where we're saying palatable. But he's not Prime Minister. He's not Prime Minister potential. I mean, for the fact that him and Rachel Reeves, he sounds like the male version of Rachel Reeves in accent, tone, everything, which would just see me off. But he can't be a Prime Minister. He really can't be I mean, I'd rather Labour stalwart Deborah Meaden were Prime Minister. Now, I've always said, it's a bit jarring that she's such a Labour fan, yet I quite like her. She said a few things that have pissed me off, but on the whole, in the main, I quite like her. She likes animals, and I'm a soft touch for an animal. But I would rather have Deborah Meaden in the chair than Wes Streeting. I mean, Alan Sugar, that'd be good, wouldn't it? "You're fired," he said to Trump. Oh my God, there's a squirrel on the roof of the house opposite that is literally doing a ballet show for me this morning. That's quite cool. See, honestly, how distracted am I? My other half sort of like goes, pterodactyl. Oh, yeah. Anyway, that's that. I need to go make the coffee. It's Specsavers Day today. Today I'm having my contact lens appointment, which I'm so excited about. And I'm going to try and do a live tonight. So that's my goal for today, to try and get everything in place to do a live tonight. I honestly, as soon as I've said it, I've now remembered that she's riding, so it might be a bit late. And by the time I've done dinner, who knows? But if not tonight, this week, I bid you farewell.